everyone. Happy holidays. Now, as we're getting into 2024, a lot of people are very well agitated because of their economic situation. And I think it's very well important for us to get into the weeds on why many people feel uneasy about their economic situation. So lately, there have been several articles coming from economists stating how we have the lowest unemployment rate in the United States of America, around, like 3 point something. There isn't as much, you know, unemployment. Wages are increasing, etc., etc. However, although that does make a lot of sense, at least from a macroeconomic standpoint, it's very imperative that people try to take into consideration variables on why they may feel as though, okay, that they're not feeling content. So let me explain. Most people, number one, must be capable of enjoying the fruits of their labor. So what do I mean by this? Okay. You go to a job, right? You work your 40, 50, 60 hours. You get paid every 2 weeks, etc. Cool. Now, guess what? You work at this business for over, let's say, 3 years, and your pay is the same. Guess what? You're getting paid less now. Why is that the case? Because of inflation. Very simple, okay? Now, drag that for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and that's how a lot of Americans are. They're getting paid the same way as they have been since, like, either many years ago or even decades ago, and they don't really have much to do in order to really empower themselves because of their economic situation. Another reason, right, is prices, which ties back down into inflation. You hear a lot of people talk about, grocery prices, gasoline, etc. The fact of the matter is that, and this goes down to, in general, prices overall, all the necessities that you actually need have risen dramatically. What are those necessities? Housing. People do need shelter at the end of the day, as well as the fact of what? Food. You're going to have to eat food. And because we live in the United States of America, you're going to need some gas. Now, the gas thing, I think, is a little sketch because, a lot of people want to drive giant pickup trucks like F-150s and Silverados, Rams, etc. But the fact of the matter is there is a general increase of costs, and not just any old costs, but actual costs you have to pay for in your day-to-day life. Now, what is that to me, at least? That is your housing, that is your food, and also, and these are other items that a lot of people don't want to put into the actual costs, but that is your internet, insurance, for at least your health, as well as car insurance. Okay, because truth be told, we live in a more digitized society, and moving forward, you're going to need to have the internet in order for you to go about your day-to-day life. Right? So we got the inflation down. We got into, the more specific forms of inflation is basically your necessities. A third thing, and that is appreciation. Okay. What do I mean by appreciation? You got a lot of people, they go into some, like, let's say, STEM, right? Because that's the quote unquote thing that you're supposed to get into now so that you can have success later in life. Now, what's the new thing? Oh, you can't do STEM. Or maybe you should go into the trades, quotation mark, right? Like it's easy as the snap of a finger. Once again, the problem is not appreciation, because people, at the end of the day, they want stability and they want to be rooted. Now, what many people have been told and what a lot of people have been saying quite a lot is that if you really want to have stability, you're supposed to go with the flow with whatever major or profession that is in the as of the moment. So people tell you, oh, you need to become an electrician. Oh, you need to become a plumber, or you need to become some sort of construction worker, etc. And then within like 3 or 4 or 5 years, you'll be like making a whole bunch of money. Here's the problem. This is just advice. Do they actually know what it takes to come up in here and go through the motions? Because guess what? Getting into the trades many of times is harder than going to college. See, the government will give you a loan to go to college. Okay. They'll just do that. Whereas many people, they don't get loans. They just simply go into a job site and then, you know, they just do whatever. Right? That's basically what just happens. So you go into, let's say, the trades. I'm going to focus on the trades, right? So you go into the trades, you do it for 2 or 4 years, you get out, and now the market simply just turns. So you're no longer in a market that works for you. You're now in a market that works against you. Okay. Now, before someone comes in and says, well, Chris, you're always going to need, so and so trade. Let me explain something. Just because you're needed doesn't mean you're going to be paid well. CNAs are needed. Guess what? They are paid bottom tier. They're, funny enough, get paid less, and many times less than people who are working at McDonald's, at Costco, at fast food and other retailers. That's just a fact, right? And these people are licensed. I forgot what it was. It was I wish I had this article ready on me, but there was an article where it was, I believe, someone in the upper Northeast. He was doing some sort of healthcare profession and he quit his job so that he could make more money being a dog walker. Now, excuse me, not to disrespect people who, do that for a living, but most people would not think of dog walking as a necessity. But guess what? Market value determined that is more important than healthcare, than CNAs. So this whole, oh, you need to provide a need. No, you do not. You do not have to provide a need to have success in the marketplace. Louis Vuitton, once again, don't want to talk down on his profession, but you do not need Louis Vuitton to make a living for yourself, unless you're purchasing Louis Vuitton products and you're trying to sell to other people. But other than that, no, you do not need Louis Vuitton to make a living. Okay? So inflation, cost of necessities, appreciation. What else do you got? Basically your livelihood. Okay. So a lot of people are raised to be, individuals. You need to be quote unquote independent. And by quote unquote being independent, that means leaving away from your parents, getting your own place, whether that's your apartment, condominium, house, whatever you can think of. And then after that, you get with another partner and you start your own family, yada, yada, this, that, and a third. Now, here's the problem with that. That works a lot when everything is on the up and up. So their family structures, which are really, nuclear family structures, only works during the up and up, right? Because you don't really have much to do when you're just an individual. So you got these people, STEM, working trades, they're lonely. They don't have no one else to turn to. And because they don't have anyone else to turn to, they, feel more anxiety because they can't have all their positions filled. Because something that a lot of people don't understand is there are things you do as a group that gets you most things than you do as an individual. Right? You could travel far as what's the quote? I forgot. You could travel far as an individual, but you could, get there faster as a group, whatnot. Well, the same thing. Let's even use a real example. I could walk myself all the way to Chicago, Illinois from Columbia, Missouri. But it'll be better if I had a car that was assembled by other people. I purchased that car and I get to Chicago that way. So that's all I gotta say on why people are feeling economic anxiety these days. What's important is that you try, become economically empowered yourself. Try to start your own business. And that's all I gotta say. Bye.